Imagine your business not just surviving, but thriving. Your wealth locked in, your opportunities exploding, and your family's future built on a legacy that never fades. I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional. I help entrepreneurs and high-growth enterprises protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth through my proven system, the Wall of Wealth. I unite your experts into one cohesive strategy because the most expensive line on your balance sheet isn't debt or taxes, it's conflicting advice. Ready to align every dollar with your mission and turn today's success into tomorrow's divine promise. Wealth today, dynasty tomorrow.
And we are live. Welcome to this episode of Wealthy Wednesday. Today is going to be incredible. I am super excited to be here. So come on in, champions. Come on in. Let me know, where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn. So let me know what neck of the woods you're finding us from. What channel are you tuning into? And today's going to be incredible as always. I love doing this show. And you know what? I always say champions don't panic. We pivot. Sometimes things don't always go as planned. Put a 1 in the chat if you know or if you've ever had an experience where things don't go exactly the way you plan. My guest speaker is amazing, incredible. I have so much love and admiration for her. And, you know, she's been through some stuff. But one thing I know is she always comes out on the other side. Maybe you can relate to that. I've had a few curveballs thrown at me, and sometimes people think, hey, you know, she's knocked down, she's done, but guess what? Champions always find a way. And my guest speaker today is me. I've been doing this show now for almost 2 years, I think, and I've never had a guest speaker flake on me. I don't know what else to say. Things happen, but you know what? Listen, the right people show up. This is one thing I know for sure. I don't know much, but this is one thing I know for sure. The right people attract, and the wrong people, they find a way out. And that's okay, because I'm learning to release the people who are not in alignment. For whatever the reason, you know, it's not saying anything about anyone. It just, things happen, and maybe there's a different time. So welcome, and we're going to have fun today, okay? If you have some questions, anything you want to ask me, there is no question off the table here. Ask me whatever you want, and I'm going to talk about a lot of things today. So I've got a lot to say. First, I want to share about what our topic is collaboration is a new currency. I completely 1,000% believe that. I have actually seen and I've experienced having collaborations that have really propelled me to that next level. And you may think it's just a coffee chat, but you don't know the treasures that lie behind there. Maybe that person is looking to buy your widget, but maybe that person is looking to connect you to someone else. Maybe it's a conversation that somebody else overhears, and now they want to participate in what you're doing. Don't underestimate the power of having a collaboration. But here's the thing. When we collaborate, we have to be willing to be humble. We have to put our ego at the door and understand it's not all about us. It's all about the we, right? We got to forego the me, my, I for we are us, and making that collaboration. So understanding that person that you're collaborating, or maybe it's a collective you're collaborating with, they all bring value. And sometimes we think that it has to be somebody that's totally in alignment with us. I respectfully disagree with that. I've had collaborations with people with things that I don't totally agree with. I think that's okay. That's where we have conversations. Do you remember when we used to have a good, healthy debate? I think we need to bring that back. Okay. I think it's okay for us not to completely agree with someone that we're collaborating with, as long as we have that common thread, and then we can build from there. Because in my mind, if I only collaborate with people that are 1,000% in alignment with me, then I'm being in my mind, very narrow-minded. I said it. I know, I said it. We talk about being open-minded, but I'm curious how many of us really are. It is difficult to be open-minded. It is. It is very difficult to have a conversation with somebody that really isn't in alignment with a lot of things that you hold dear and near in your core values. And I'm not saying that we push our core values aside. I'm never saying to compromise who we are. What I'm saying is giving ourselves an opportunity to at least hear their side. And one of two things will happen. One, you will open up space and maybe you'll find that what they're saying is actually some valid points and maybe you'll make some adjustments. Or two, you know what it does for me? Oftentimes, it solidifies my core values and what I believe. We can't be afraid to be challenged. We can't be afraid to be uncomfortable. We cannot be afraid for people to say, I don't believe in what you say. We've gotten to this point where we think that disagreement is somehow a cause for a battle. And I just don't agree with that. I have friends and clients of all walks of life. I have clients who are wealthy. I have clients who are just starting out. I have clients who inherited assets. I have clients who built things from the ground up. I have clients who every gender, every background, geography, and I think that's the beauty of it. I think that's the beauty of it, but it's not easy. And yes, I will say this too. I do have some clients that their core values are not really what I would like them to be, but I understand where they're coming from. And I think if we can do that, that's where the real collaboration comes in. That's where we can really see one another for who we are. And I think that's how we can go forward and really have a different culture, a different world. Not everyone's going to think like me. And I thank God for that, because I don't know, sometimes I have some stinking thinking, right? I'm not perfect either. We're all in the process. And we have to collectively understand we're all in each other's process. And this is what I mean by that. I'm going to shout some people out here and I'm going to tell you what value that they brought to me. They might not even know this. I'm going to start off with my Gita girl, Miss Sharon Rosie. Listen, what she teaches me every day is that attitude of gratitude. Listen, we all have challenges. We've all been there. However, how do we show up when things are challenging? Anybody can be happy and excited when things are going good. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't want to know who you are when things are not going your way. I want to see what you do and how you react and how you treat people when things are not rainbows and butterflies. And I have watched this woman forge through the fire. I'm not going to share her story. I'm not going to steal her thunder, but I want you to know I have so much love and admiration for her because I'm watching her reimagine herself. That when we're forged through fire, that builds our character. It's not the rainbows and butterflies. Rainbows and butterflies, we're all happy. But who are you when the fire comes? Do you fold like a cheap chair? And I'm not saying that we don't have our moments, but I'm saying, do you pull people down with you? Do you try to pull people down with you? Or do you get up for yourself? I love you, my Gita girl. I admire you and I respect you so much. Miss Nicole and Guy Galindo are guiding brilliant writers. I have to tell you, this woman, for me, is when we talk about authenticity, being authentic, I think if you looked her up in the dictionary, that's what you would find. She is all the time exactly who you see. She does not sugarcoat it at all. She gets on. No, I'm like, I'm not doing that, Miss Nick, but she comes on, no makeup. She looks beautiful either way. See, I got to kind of do some things, but she shows up herself on camera, off camera. She is exactly who you see. And that is why she is able to pull out what she does from her authors. I have never considered writing a book. People have approached me many, many times. It's not something that's interesting to me. I don't even bat an eye. But when I actually do, I'm going to write it with her, because I have watched what she pulls out of her authors. It is not common what she does. She is the brilliance behind guiding those brilliant writers. If you have not collaborated with her, if you've not seen her shows, if you haven't read some of the books that she's helped to publish, I urge you to definitely purchase something, go on Kindle, get like the low cost version, because it's going to help you to open up a space you never thought was there. And I'm excited. We're going to do some collaborations. I really, really hope that we do these collaborations in 2026, because it's our time to get in the mix. Listen, we got to come out of the shadows. So many people show up to collaborate, or they show up to events, but they don't ever comment. They don't ever say anything. Listen, we got to put ourselves in the mix. We got to come out of the shadows and put ourselves out there. Yes, it is difficult. It is uncomfortable, but nothing good comes in comfort. You will never find who you're supposed to be if you're just comfortable. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say that again. You will never find out who you're supposed to be as long as you're sitting in comfort. So what is that thing that you need to do? Who else do we have here? I think I did see, who did I see? I saw Lisa Febeck. Oh my gosh. Okay. Happy Wealthy Wednesday to you, my love. Miss Lisa Febeck is that person that opened up my mind for something that I had not ever thought about. So she talks about, she's our menopause mentor, really our dietitian. She talks about all things health and wellness. And what she really has helped me to understand is that even if we think that we are not having menopause symptoms, because I felt like I'm not having those symptoms. I don't have these night sweats. I don't have any of these things that a lot of people think that are common. But then she helped me to understand, listen, there are a lot of symptoms that we're not aware of that may be impacting us long term. We have to get in alignment with our health. And that is uncomfortable. It is very, very comfortable to be healthy. And a lot of us think that we're being healthy, but if we don't understand what combinations that we need to pair in order for the vitamins and supplements we're taking to have the greatest impact for us. Again, we got to be willing to get uncomfortable. And so when we do these collaborations, how are you willing to show up? Who's a person that you know if you collaborated would change your business? Who's a person that you know that if you had a coffee chat would make you uncomfortable? Maybe that's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe you need to get your money right and you are unsure how to do that. I promise you, I don't bite. There is no judgment here. I'm here to truly help you to get on track. Jose, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. You're a new friend. I think we have met before, but if we haven't had a coffee chat, please absolutely reach out to me. I love doing no pitch coffee chats. I've met so many amazing, incredible, phenomenal people through coffee chats. That is a fact. Collaboration has a deeper meaning and purpose for everyone. I would love to know, Jose, what you think that meaning and purpose is. Tell me, share with me a story about a collaboration that you've had. And I love Wealthy Wednesday. I want you to know the way I came up with the Wealthy Wednesday title is because I was listening to Jackie Halberg and Damien, and they were doing their Wishful Wednesdays, and I love listening into those. Those were the LinkedIn audios. I absolutely love the Wishful Wednesday. And then I thought, you know what? I could do a Wealthy Wednesday. So I came up with this title because of her. And that was a collaboration. And by the way, that was a collaboration she wasn't even aware of. I told that story on her show on Monday. But it's being willing and open to learn from other people. Absolutely. I love that. Solutions come from intellectual sparring. When was the last time you had an intellectual sparring match? Now, I'm a karateka, so I know about sparring. I know about sparring, but we got to be willing to have that conversation without judgment. And then, you know what? Leave as friends. Have that intellectual sparring match, but then at the same time, understand, respect each other, and leave as friends. I think more comes from that than comes from just staying with people that we already know, that they say the same song, they love the same music, everything's the same. We don't grow from that. We don't learn from that. We don't grow. I know I do not learn from that. I do not grow. And I'm really here. The reason I do this show is because I'm really chasing my greatest version. This show takes a lot for me to do. I love doing it. It's a lot of fun, but you have to find speakers. You have to, try to promote it and all these things. There's a lot that goes into it. And I love the challenge. Growth and discomfort are besties. Absolutely, my Gita girl. Let's see. What did you say? Diversity is brilliance. Nobody wants a box of 64 gray crayons. Oh my gosh, I love that. Nobody wants a box of 64 gray crayons. I know I don't. Absolutely not. I do not. I want all the colors. I want the neons. I want all of them. I want all of them. I want it all. So I'm going to share with you guys, if you have any thoughts about collaboration, I would love to hear your thoughts. Yes, 2026 in our collaborations. Listen, who are you going to collaborate this year? 2025 was our year to thrive. Remember that? It was our year to thrive. 2026, I'm going to challenge you to get in the mix. If you've never had a collaboration before, if you've never done an event before, I'm going to challenge you to come out of the shadows. If you've been here before and you've never made a comment, come out of the shadows. Make yourself known. Put who you are in the comments. Somebody here is looking for you and what you do. But if you're a secret agent, nobody can find you. Nobody can find you. Nobody knows where you are. So we got to stop being secret agents. Remember, you got to be willing to rah-rah yourself. And I understand about being humble. So this is not about being braggadocious. This is not about putting other people down and saying that you're better. This is about being you sparkled. You with that little glitter glue. You with the little frosting on top and the sprinkles. Because if people can't find you, are you going to have success? No, they don't know where you are. Somebody is looking for you, but they got to hear you. They got to see you showing up for other people. Because here's a secret. You ready? I'm going to tell you guys a secret. When you showcase and highlight others, the spotlight automatically comes to you. It absolutely does. You think that you're showcasing others, but people listen to how you speak about others. They watch what you put in the comments. I've had people reach out to me because of something I put in the comment. And I know if you put your words in the comments, people will reach out to you too. They really will. They're looking for you. Let's see. Oh, Meryl, you're here. Oh my gosh. So everybody needs a Meryl in their life. Meryl, you need to come and be a guest speaker with me. We absolutely have to do a collaboration. And here's the thing is that you never know where that treasure is going to come. You absolutely never know. We can't assume. We see somebody, we see them here on LinkedIn, we see them in different areas, and then we think, oh yeah, we know who they are. You don't know who they are. I promise you, you don't know what value they could bring to you. They definitely will bring you value, but we have to be open and willing and ready. And Plantain, oh my goodness, this is one of the most beautiful humans I know. Plantain has a group, and it's the encouragers. How many of us are encouraging each other? How many of us are really taking that time to really encourage another with no ulterior motive? Plantain does that every single day. We all have a world right now. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say we all. Many people have a world right now that they're feeling a little uncomfortable. They're feeling a little discouraged. Maybe 2025 was not a great year for them. We all need some encouragement. We all could use some positive words. How do you show up for other people, and how do you show up for yourself? Sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I heard this quote, and I think about it often. It says, every time I've been stabbed in the back, I find my own fingerprints on the knife. Some of us are our own worst enemy. We got to stop doing that. 2026 is our year to get in the mix, but it's also our year to highlight ourselves. Absolutely. Freely share your genius. You have brilliance, you have genius. But if you're in the shadows, nobody can find you. Nobody can see that. So I want to share with you guys a few golden nuggets. Unless anyone has any questions, if you have any questions about anything, about money, about collaboration, about Miss Cher, Miss Gita Girl, Plantine, about Miss Lisa Favec, if you have any questions, or Miss Nicole and our Guiding Brilliant Writers, put your questions in there. I would love to hear from you. This is your show. Okay, this is your show. I want to hear from you. So I'm going to talk to you about a few things. You know, I do Motivation Monday with Eric and Friends. I don't know if all of you know that. Miss Gita Girl is part of that 4 a.m. club, but now I guess it's a 5 a.m. club for her. But anyway, if you're up early, check us out on Mondays. And we had a great conversation. We were talking about how to set goals that stick. And I gave a few golden nuggets. I'm going to unpack those a little bit about how to have 2026 money goals. Wherever you are financially, listen, there is always another level. And sometimes people say, well, you know what? That's too much money. Okay, if it's too much money for you, give it away. Who do you know who needs more money? Who do you, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe it is a charity, a nonprofit. Maybe you want to start your own charity, nonprofit, or foundation. There are many people who are looking for sponsorships. So if you made too much money this year, let me know. I have a lot of people I could connect you with if you're looking for donations, you're looking to give some donations. So I'm going to give you 3 golden nuggets on what you need to do to make 2026 a better financial year for you. Number 1 is you got to clean your money closet. This is the hardest one. It is. And what I mean by that, think about this. If you go into your closet and it's all perfect, like I know Miss Nix, I know her closet's perfect. Listen, I think she's so organized. I'm pretty sure her closet's on point. But if your closet is not really on point and you've got some little dust bunnies in there, think about when you go in there and you can't find the outfit to put together, the colors are all different. You've got your, suits over here and they're kind of thrown up in piles. You can't really look in there and put together a real outfit. But if it's organized, you know where the shoes are. You've got the blues over here. You've got the purples over there. You've got the jeans. You've got the dress up, the dresses, or whatever you have in there. And it's all neat and organized. It's very easy for you to start to see what you can put together, what you can go forward. It is no different when it comes to your money. We have to have a financial snapshot. That means that we know where all of our money is going. And every time I do this with somebody, every single time we find money they were not aware that they were spending. You have to know, I call it a spending plan. I do not believe in budgets. I think that word should be banned. Budgets make us feel like they're punitive. They make us feel like we're being punished. They make us feel like you can't do this, you can't do that. Listen, some financial people say, you can't go out to lunch, you can't spend money, you got to sell your children, burn your furniture, and walk to work. I mean, I just don't believe in that. I just don't believe in sacrifice. It's an exchange. So what I do is I teach my clients to have a spending plan, meaning that we're going to put everything in one area so that you can easily see all the income that's coming in, everything that's going out. We're going to track all of your expenses. That's difficult, I know. We're also going to look at all of your debt. not just how much you owe, how much interest are you paying? How many more payments do you have left? What is your debt freedom date? And then we're going to look at all of your investments. And when you start to have this in one area, then you're working with a clean closet. And I promise you, I would be shocked. Okay, I would be shocked if I did this for you and we didn't find anything. Because every time we do this financial x-ray, right? It's like doing a little x-ray here. We're going to find some leakage. I just did this for one of my clients and we found $300 that was, she wasn't really understanding how she was using it. Let's just put it that way. Okay, she thought it was kind of an investment, but it really wasn't. So that was $300 right there into her budget and her spending plan, right? So, and then there's other things. Maybe you're overspending on something. So we have to be willing to clean our financial closet, good, bad, or indifferent. There's no judgment here. We start from wherever we start. And I love doing this because when we do this and we track it, and I'll touch base with you once a quarter. If you come on and you say, yes, I'm going to do this, there's a little fee, but I promise you it's nominal. It's a little fee. It's only like $97, okay, for the whole year. And I will touch base with you every month and we'll look at where your spending is and where your income is and where your investments is. Because here's the thing, what we track expands and what we track and report expands exponentially. So if you track it, that's one thing. But if you report it and we're communicating, you watch what happens to your income. So we got to be willing to clean our closet. And that's the only way that we're going to have any progress is be willing to have that spending plan. It's not about giving up. It's about getting yourself to that next level, building that legacy. Because every dollar that you save and invest, your money has to have a job. Listen, we are entrepreneurs and we are working hard. We're getting up early. We're staying up late. We're working weekends. We're missing family events. We're missing birthday parties maybe. And if you're doing all this, then you have to be ready to receive that income. If your money isn't ready, if your closet is messy, then guess what? When you receive that abundance, it's not going to know where to go. And what will happen is you will magically push it away. You will find yourself just as broke as you were before you got that abundance. So we have to be ready to receive that abundance. And what does that mean? That you have your spending plan put together. That's what it means. You start there and now your money's ready. And when you receive that abundance, your money every dollar has a job. It knows where it's going. You know how much you need to put to be financially free. You know how to get that debt freedom. You know what you're going to save and invest. And you know what your monthly budget is, what the things that you need to do, what your monthly spending plan is, where that money's going. So that's number one. Are you guys getting something from this? I hope I'm not just rambling. I hope you're getting some value from this. So number one, you've got to clean your closet. Number two, reverse engineer the end results. So here we go. We're coming up to 2026 in just a few hours and just a couple of days. What is your goal for 2026? Yes, we can have other goals, but I'm going to challenge you to have a financial goal. What is that financial goal? What is that number that you want to achieve in 2026? Maybe it's you want to make your first $10,000 in your business. Maybe it's you want to make your first $100,000. I don't know what that is. Maybe you want to make your first $10,000 in a month or your first $10,000 in a day. I don't know what that number is, but whatever that number is for you, then I want you to reverse engineer it. How much money do you want to achieve and attract in 2026? And then we're going to reverse engineer that. So let's just say, for example, you want to save have $10,000 saved at the end of the year. That means you need to put aside $833 a month. Okay, let's break this down. $833 a month. What if you broke that down into a week? Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do the math right here with you. Divided by 12, that's $833 a month. Divided by 4, that's $208 a week. Can you put aside $208 a week? If that's your goal, reverse engineer it. Maybe if it's a different number, reverse engineer that. Let's just get real basic. Let's say you want to save $1,000 by the end of the year. Do you know that most families don't even have $400 for an emergency? So to have $1,000 put away in your savings, you'll be above 80% of the people. So let's say at the end of 2026, you want to have $1,000. That is only $83 a month. That means it's only $20 a week. Can you save $21 a week? Put it aside, set it aside. It doesn't stay in your bank account. You put it somewhere else. Put it in a jar, open up a savings account, but put it somewhere else. You have to separate it. And then at the end of the year, you have $1,000. Think about that. Like I said, you'd be ahead of 80% of people in this world. So reverse engineer it. What is your goal? I want to see who's going to be brave and tell me what is one of their money goals. Let me see. We're champions. We are not afraid. We are bold. We are courageous. I want to know, what is your money goal? Americo Acosta, thank you for dropping in. Yes, we got to clean our closets. What is your money goal for 2026? What do you want to achieve? Maybe it's an amount of money you want to donate. Maybe you have a charity or something near and dear to your heart and you want to be able to give. I believe that if you give out of abundance, you will receive out of abundance. So what are the things that are near and dear to your heart that you want to donate? Maybe you want to donate $1,000. Maybe you want to write a check for $10,000. My goal is to donate $1 million. And guess what? If you know tithing, 10%, you know what that means, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So what is the one job your money needs to do this year? What's the one job you need your money to stop doing? What is the job you need your money to start doing? What are the changes that you need? Because listen, champions will be successful over time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time. We have to be willing to understand. Listen, money likes speed, but wealth takes time. Money loves speed, but wealth takes time. And this is what I mean by that. We have to know what our core values are. We have to know where our money is going to go when we receive it, right? What do we need to pay our monthly expenses? What do we need to go towards our debt freedom? How much money are we going to save and invest? We have to know that in advance. And we have to know our core values so that when you see something that is asking for your money, you can quickly make a decision. Yes, this is an alignment, or no, it's not an alignment. Because if we're confused and we're not sure, and we're there just sitting, listen, sometimes a pause is costly. We have to be willing to make quick financial decisions. So be prepared, know what you're looking for, and then go start to find it. But building that wealth is going to take time. There's no such thing as a get rich quick that is legitimate. I'm talking about things that are legal, moral, and ethical. Okay, I don't ever talk about things that are, outside of that. So your money has to know that you are going to take it somewhere. You got to talk to your money. How many of you talk to your money? I keep pennies everywhere. Right? You guys have heard me talk about the power of the penny. Why? Because what you do with a little, you will do with a lot. If you see pennies strewn around, if you just toss them around or underneath your sofa cushions, I've seen people sweep their floors and throw them away. If you are mistreating this penny, how will you treat multiple pennies? How will you treat millions of pennies? How you do something is how you do everything. So when you see this penny, maybe you don't pick it up off the floor, but please don't throw it away. Right. And if they're pennies that are before 1982, they're not even making any more pennies. But if you find them that are printed before 1982, they have a higher copper value. And if you put those away, they'll be worth 2 or 3 cents or even more than that. So we have to reverse engineer. What is the goal that you want? 6 figures. I love it. See, here we go. Scared money doesn't make money. Courageous money attracts money. Let's go. 2026, 6 figures. Let's go. So what does that mean, Nick? Reverse engineer. How many 6 figures? 1 6 figure, 2 6 figure, multiple 6 figures? What's that number? See, here's the thing. The number doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. What matters is your intention. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what you do in 2026, Nick. So that's number 2, right? We have to reverse engineer. What is it that you want? And it has to be what you want. Don't write down something that somebody else wants for you. Don't write down what your spouse thinks that you can do. Don't write down what your neighbor has and you want to updo them. No, this is what do you want for you. It has to be truly something that you want. That's the burning desire. Our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers talks about that. It has to be your burning desire. Right? If it's just money, just to have money, you know, what are you going to do with it? What jobs are you going to put it to work with? Number 3, and this one is my favorite. This is my favorite. You got to write your money story. And if you don't know your money story, get with Miss Nicole, Guy Galindo, Guiding Brilliant Writers, and have her help you write your money story. It can be a book. It can be a paragraph. It can be on a little note card. Our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers calls this our gold card. Sorry, I keep these everywhere. It could be on a little gold card like this. It could be 2 or 3 sentences. What is your money story? And then write it down and put it everywhere. You have to post it everywhere. You got to be willing to say it and talk about it and dream about it and write that down, that little money story. And then watch what happens. Listen, we got to change our stinking thinking. All of us have it. I'm not perfect either. We all have that. So we got to be willing to brainwash ourselves before the world brainwashes us. Because the world is brainwashing us if you don't know. We are constantly bombarded with propaganda. Buy this, don't buy that, vote here, don't vote there. We are constantly being berated. So we have to wash out our stinking thinking. And how do we know we have stinking thinking? Easy. Look at your bank account. If it is not congruent to who you think you are, if it's not representative of the value you believe you're worth, then we've got some stinking thinking, and that's okay. We're starting today. I got to tell you guys, so many times when people come to me, I love that 120K, boom, that's a perfect number. I like to make the number a little bit more exact. So I would say $121,306.42 plus. Okay, that's the way my mind works, because if you make it very, I would love to know what Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers thinks about that, because I find if I have that exact number, it separates itself, so it really like embeds in my subconscious mind. I love that. Thank you, Nick. I absolutely love that. So oftentimes when people come to me, they do what I call the Goonies syndrome. If you've never seen the movie The Goonies, you got to watch this movie. It's an old movie. I just love it. My kids used to love it. My daughter would play it, and every time she played this movie, she would just laugh. And my daughter has this beautiful, very unique, contagious laugh. So I'd love to put the movie on and watch her watch them. I watch her watch a lot of things. She's just so funny. But there's this point in the movie where the little boy gets captive by the wicked people, and they tell him, he's like, I don't know, 11 years old. They're like, okay, listen, tell us everything. Tell us everything. And he's like, tell you everything? Yes, tell us everything. Okay, and now they're trying to get where the treasure is or something like that. He says, okay, I'll tell you everything. When I was in 3rd grade, I cheated on my spelling test. And when I was in 4th grade, I do this. He's telling all these things. And so oftentimes when I meet with somebody, they do that. They say, I should have done this. I sold this too soon. I bought this thing I shouldn't have bought. I wasted money here. And I say, okay, let's go ahead. That is so last year, last week, yesterday, 3 seconds ago. That is 3 seconds ago. We're going to push the button and now we're going to write a new money story. It starts there because you know what? All progress starts by telling the truth. We got to open up our financial closet and look at how it really looks, good, bad, or indifferent, and start there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and write down that number. What's the number that you want? What's the number that if you achieved it, you would just think amazing. You would just think, wow, that I never thought I could achieve that. If you do that, and then you write down your money story and have a session with our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers on goal setting, you're going to achieve your goals. What will happen is, what I found is you're going to achieve goals you never thought were even possible for you. And I'm going to share a couple of things, not to be braggadocious, but I want you to just understand. I had a certain goal to have my team at a certain number, and I didn't achieve that this year. However, what I did was I attracted other things that I never anticipated. I was just part of a summit that I didn't even know was going to be transcribed into a book. Okay, it's on Amazon. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about writing a book. My team was ranked number 10 in the entire company. And I have probably one of the smaller teams in the company. I was ranked number 5 in the company. It's like right here. Look at this. Boom. See that? That's right. That's me. Again, not to be braggadocious, but to let you know that when you get really focused on something, other things through osmosis will start to attract because you are going to start vibrating differently. You are going to start putting different energy out there and things will just start to come to you. I won a trip to a private island. It's called Prince Island. Look it up. I won a trip to that. I wasn't even on my radar. Now, unfortunately, I did not attend because I had a family member who was terminally ill and I knew that her time was limited. So I just couldn't, I just couldn't take time away. And since she's, she passed away. And so I don't regret it at all. I needed to spend time with her. But what my point is this, when you truly have a goal, that is your burning desire, and you know what that target is, you clean your money closet, you write down the number that you want, and you write down your money story, you're going to start to do things that you never even anticipated, that you never even thought of. And what's funny is that we went to this award. I wasn't expecting to receive any awards. I really wasn't. I don't ever think about those kinds of things. That might sound kind of strange, but I just don't. I was there excited because I knew some of my friends and my colleagues were receiving some things. And then they asked, who's going to go qualify for the Prince Island? I raised my hand. I was sitting in the front row. I assumed everyone rose their hand. Okay. I just assumed everybody said, yes, it's going to be me. And so I raised my hand. I'm like, me, it's going to be me. And so they call me out. They say, okay, Leah, go ahead and stand up. I want you to go take your picture and to show that you're going to be the one who wins the next person that wins the Prince Island, the island trip. I got up and walked around. There was nobody else got up. Nobody else in the room got up. There was probably 300 people there. Not one other person got up. Wow. I was expecting to see a line of people behind me. Nobody else did. And guess what? That following month, I qualified. What I'm saying is when you step out in courage, that's why I'm saying we got to get in the mix. When you step out in courage, you give a different aura. You give off a different energy. But when we stay in the shadows, we think that it's being humble. We think that we're being, that people aren't seeing us, that we're not making a mistake because we're not saying anything. No, by not doing that, you are not saying you. You are not rawing yourself. Nobody knows who you are. I remember I was talking to Miss Gita Girl, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Miss Rosie. But we were talking, and she says, well, maybe I shouldn't be saying so many comments. I said, no, absolutely not. You need to continue saying your comments because people get to know her by what she shares. See, she thinks she's highlighting other people, but what she's really doing is she's highlighting herself because we can see who she truly, authentically is. And that's the power of it. That's the beauty of it. When you step out in courage, because most people are not courageous, and maybe that's your word that you need for this year. I haven't decided my word. I'm still meditating on it. But a couple of years ago, my word was courageous. And I did things, that's when I started this Wealthy Wednesday. I started doing things that made me totally uncomfortable. I started doing things that people said not to do. I started putting myself out there and getting uncomfortable. And then look what happens in just a couple of years. So how courageous are you? How do you show up? Are you in the comments? Are you highlighting others? Are you having collaborations? Are you having coffee chats? Do you ask? I've had people literally ask to be on my show, and I love that. I love that. I also ask other people that I'm having a coffee chat with somebody that I found on Instagram. I don't know this guy. I've never spoken to him, but I said, hey, are you on LinkedIn? He said, yes. I looked him up. He's on LinkedIn. I said, okay, I'm always looking for guest speakers. I love your content. Would you consider being a guest speaker on my show? Closed mouths don't get fed. You will not find the people you need to find if you are in the shadows, if you're a secret agent. You just won't. How will they find you? And I've had other people that I've invited to be guest speakers, and they've said, I'm not ready for that. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what you need to do it. You got to do it before you're ready. You'll never be ready. Listen, done beats perfect. Done beats perfect every single day and twice on Sunday. It doesn't matter how you show up. Nobody's really, we always think that people are thinking all these different things, but most of the thing is, my leader taught me this. My leader taught me this years ago, and this made me more courageous. He said, you know what, Leah, people are not thinking about you. They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. That's right. They are not thinking about you. They're meeting you and they're wondering, what are you thinking about them? Most people are thinking about themselves. So if you're willing to get out of the way, and whatever your imperfections you think they are or they aren't, it doesn't matter. If you highlight someone else, then through osmosis, like we talked about, that is going to be highlighted on you. And they're going to think you're amazing because you're thinking about them. When you think about other people and you highlight them, they automatically think more of you. That's an NLP thing. I don't know if my NLP, Sergio, I don't know, what is it? Sean Michael, I don't know if you're here, but I would love your thoughts. Listen, I've been talking along. I haven't heard who is, okay, thank you for the congratulations. I appreciate that. We got to show up. We got to show up. Listen. If you're not visible, no one sees you, and you can't attract the right people. Absolutely. You cannot attract the right people. The first person I think of when I hear the word courageous is Martin Stark. I don't know if I know him. Do I know more? I know a Martin. I'm not sure what his last name is. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's right. Closed mouths don't get fed. Listen, you got to be willing to get uncomfortable. We got to be willing to do things that we're afraid of. What is the one thing that you need to do that if you did it, that's what you need to do that would change your business, change what you're doing? It would increase your income. What is that one thing? And I challenge you to do it. Not for you, but for the community that you serve. So many people say that they just want to be of service. They don't care about money. They just want to help people. Well, how many people are you helping if you're not showing up? How many people are you helping if you're not having collaborations? If you're a secret agent, if you never make anything in the comments, if you never participate in anyone's events, if you don't get out there and you showcase yourself, you're not helping anyone, or you're helping very few people. If you truly want to be of service, if you truly want to help other people, then you got to be willing to put yourself out there. You got to be willing to be more courageous, because listen, we've already had the generational poverty. We've already done that. We know how that turns out. It's not good. We got to flip the script into generational prosperity. And we can do that. We can do it together, because we truly are better together. We absolutely are better together, but only if we truly collaborate, only if we truly show up for each other. Meryl, I adore you, because one of the things Meryl does is he's in the comments, but he's always bringing value. He's highlighting and showcasing other people. And how do we know, Meryl? Because he's always showcasing and highlighting other people. He's not saying random things. He's not just saying things just to say them. He brings true value to every event that he's in. I would love to think that it's just for me, Meryl, but I know you do that for everyone. We all need a Meryl in our life, and we all need to show up. So how are you going to show up in 2026? What's the thing you're going to do? I would love to hear about it. If you want to share it with me, put in the comments. If you want to have a coffee chat with me and let's talk about it, I want to hear who you're going to be in 2026. What is your word? What is your word for the year? What are you going to do differently? Are you going to clean your financial closet? Are you going to go ahead and write down that number? Be courageous and write down that number, even if you feel a little uncomfortable about it, even if your pen trembles. Listen, even if that pen runs out of ink, and while you're doing it, and if you're writing down that number through tears because you've been there and you've been starving and things aren't working, but you have the courage to write it down, I'm telling you, it will change your life. And it will change the people that are connected to your red wagon. Because here's the deal. Somebody is connected to you. Somebody is connected to your red wagon, and they need you to win. They may not be cheering you now. They might not be saying your good graces. They may not give you any encouragement whatsoever. But they are secretly hoping and praying that you win. Who is that person? And you got to show up for them. Clean your financial closet, write down the number that you want, reverse engineer it, and then we're going to write down this story. I want to hear your money story. I want to be there cheerleading for you. I want to be the person that pours belief into you. I want to be the person that starts and knows you right now when things are not pretty. I want to be one of those people that's cheering you before you have the win, before you get your first client, before you make your first dollar. And then I could say, I knew her when. I knew him when. I knew them at the beginning. That's collaboration. That's the treasure. That's where the true gold is. And that's where the real person is made. We are forged through the fire. Nothing good comes out of rainbows and puppy dogs. We are forged through the fire. And your best version is on the other side of that fire. I love it. Oh my goodness. Yes, Plantain. Let's have a coffee chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. Meryl, we got to have a coffee chat. I know we've chatted before. It's been a little while. Listen, I want to know, how can I serve you? Who do you want to hear from? Who do you want me to host on this show? What things do you need to know about? What money thoughts do you have? What challenge do you have with your money? What conversations do you want me to take off the gloves, pull back the curtains? Because you know me, I'm always going to give you the real deal. There's no rainbows and puppy dogs here. That's a different channel. That's a different show. That's a different time slot. I don't know where it is, but here we talk about the real deal. The good, bad, and the ugly. I'm always going to tell you the truth. I'm always going to tell you what's really happening behind the scenes. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me, Bandra. I hope I brought some value, and I'm looking forward to another 2026 of Wealthy Wednesday, bringing value, bringing you live, and even more. We're going to go live on Instagram. We're going to go live on, I think, TikTok. We're going to have more channels. We're going to do more and bring more value and have even more valuable guest speakers. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. I adore you. Thank you for showing up. Godfather, we appreciate you. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, somebody who believed in me at the very beginning, you may not know, is a Godfather. I adore you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So enjoy the rest of your Wealthy Wednesday. Remember, listen, we've already had the generational poverty. Now it's time for us to step into generational prosperity, because building our wealth is one muscle, but actually building that family dynasty is something else. Your wealth today should be and can be your dynasty tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much. See you at the top.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.